Okay, good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Hope everyone's had a good week. I know I have had a very, very, very rough week. Here at the house, me and Mrs. Mystic have all been sick all week. No fun. So let's see who we got in here already. And also, can y'all hear me? It shows me my mic's working, but I don't know. Let's see what we get. Selena, there you are. Cool. Okay, now people's chatting. Okay. Y'all are being a little mysteriously sneaky and quiet. Had me wondering, y'all being a little suspicious. So. All right, Bestest Wolf, welcome. Luna, welcome. Selena, welcome. Terror, welcome. 7LVX77, welcome. Yes, this new backdrop. We have been working on getting a runic circle that could be used as a ritual circle the same way as we did with the Dragon's Eye seal. And this is one of them. We actually have two of them. So they are available at the merch shop. In fact, there's a link below this video where you can grab this one and the other one. They're both there. They both came in. As you all know, I try to make sure to get any of the products and try them out myself before I let y'all know about them. And these came out tremendous. They're absolutely gorgeous. And they make absolutely great ritual circles for anyone who works with the Norse or in the runic practice. I'll try and hang the other one up for Sunday, but the other one is very similar, only instead of the Melnjorn, we did put the Volcanacht in the center. But they both look absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah, tell you what, let me get out of the way here. There y'all go. See that? Our own Bernoldus actually did the artwork for it. I think I damn near killed the guy because he had a little trouble getting everything balanced on both sides. I think he used fancier artworks than that, but he had a little trouble getting it to look balanced out. But he did a lot of great work on that. And, we should all give him a big thanks for that. That was great. So. Born, it came out great, man. You should be proud. I won't even lie. I actually showed the work to Odin before I put it up on the tapestries and got it ordered. Even he liked it. So, of course, I guess his symmetry is a bit off by at least one eye. Mangrove, welcome. Glad you made it. Maru, glad you made it. Animal Man, Key Gaming, welcome. I think this might be your first time here, Key. Or is it K? That might be K Gaming. Mysterious, glad you made it. If I mess up names tonight, I am sorry because I'm not even gonna lie. I am dehydrated and exhausted, and my vision's been a little blurry. So some of the smaller print and stuff still messing with me. But other than just getting over a bit of exhaustion, everybody around here is healthy now. So yay! So we got a full house in here. EW, they are available now, actually. There's a link below the video here. Take you straight to this very tapestry. Both of them is actually available, so you can actually go see the other one. Like I said, I'll try and make sure to hang up the one that's actually, well, it's over there, and try and show it off Sunday. But just like the Dragon's Eye Seal, I mean, these are really thick and durable. I was a little surprised. So yeah, they're already available if you want one. Yeah, I mean, you don't really get a higher approval rating than Odin approving. Seriously. So I figured that was pretty good. Patchy likes it. Jade, glad you made it. So, since this is research and ramblings, well, this is more of a rant than a rambling, but I gave my wife one of her solstice gifts today, which it was something technology based, so it was a pain to pick out the right one. But in looking at this thing, she's flipping through the books, and it's a pair of headphones. I think we've all had some headphones at some point in our life. Could someone tell me why they apparently require to put in your headphone packaging book warning, do not use these in the shower? I mean, is that actually a problem? I mean, are people still that stupid? Because I mean, I know when I was a little kid, we were making fun of people and the little hair dryer warning, don't use this hair dryer in the shower. Um, but headphones? Really? In 2020, do we still need to be told not to do that? And if we do, maybe that's part of the problem, and we should just take all these warnings off and see if the problem sorts itself out. Just wondering. Okay? She read that off to me, and I was like, does that really have to be said? And you see, Luna, I get that, but at the same time, you shouldn't be able to sue someone else because you're stupid. You see, that you just shouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, it's like I said, it just bothered me. And me and the wife was joking, I'm gonna have to start a new live stream rantings of a mage because many of you, especially, well, maybe that's what Discord is for, because y'all know I come in Discord and I get ranting about some stuff. Which is why Peachy no longer drinks water around me. I get to ranting and she starts laughing. Yeah, the tech ranting. And honestly, we're not even going to talk about the camera that I almost put through the wall today. Luna, don't worry about that. We're not going to discuss that camera. Yeah, I'm probably just going to give that thing to my wife. Now, see, that's me, Mangrove. I'm going to assume something electronic is not waterproof or even water resistant unless it's in big bold letters. I am not going to assume it. Hey, Tori, glad you could join us. So, all right. Oh, Selena says, I need a little advice. Yeah, okay, let's. I'm planning to set up a proper altar when we move into our house, and I don't know how to explain it to the people who don't know that I practice. So what do I do? Okay, Selena, my first question is, are they going to be okay once you tell them you practice? That's the first thing. Is this like a thing where I mean, you tell them, you practice random magical tradition here, and they're going to be like, we don't get it, but that's cool. Or are we talking about an altar that you need to hide? So I can help you with either scenario. I just need to know what kind of full scenario we're working with and how to lay the altar out and work with this here. But I am totally down to help you with this one. And I appreciate the smiley face with the cowboy hat there at the end too. So, well, one way you can go about it, Selena, is you can actually let them know that it is a religious working space. Don't even call it an altar, just call it a religious working space. And even in some other religions, you could call it an altar space, and they'd even understand that. Because if it's set up in your room or someplace, and they know it's a religious working space that's supposed to be treated with a form of respect, most people I've encountered, well, at least where I live, most of them is pretty cool about that. They actually understand. They don't need to understand the full logistics of your individual practice to understand this space is a place that needs to be respected. Um, Kind of like any church I go into, you see the altar up there, that the sanctuary, the altar, it's a room in an area of respect, and you treat it as such. So if you explain it in that way and let them know that, most people I know are pretty chill with that. And some of them may even ask questions and try to seek a better understanding, in which case is pretty cool too. So you can explain that the crystals, they help raise energy, balance energy, and help energy to flow. The tarot cards help you to, you read them to gain insight and wisdom. Um, and you can explain the skulls away as connection to ancestors or the likes. And most people pretty much understand that. Mangrove, I tried suing God. That don't work. He's unlisted, man. He got no social. Can't sue him. I tried. Okay, when do I start a video about another dragon ruler or gods? I am actually about to start filming the Luminescra video, which will probably be the last of the dragon ruler videos for a while, due to I'm not wanting people to jump too far ahead in some of those higher rulers because they can get relatively dangerous and unpredictable. But we do have a video on Lucifer actually coming out very, very soon. In fact, possibly next week. Don't quote me on it, but I'm wanting to feel like it might be next week when the Lucifer video comes out. Let's see here. One second, guys. I will get back to your other questions. I'm wanting to make sure we don't skip too far over Selena before we get this one sorted. My mother that I live with knows about it and is okay with it, and I'm just a bit unsure of when people like my father, hardcore Christian, is going to react. But it's not going to be hidden. Well, I can't. Oh, you did good. You good. Okay, I think. Yeah, as long as you approach it in a respectful, spiritual way, um, most people I know of understand. Now, in the case of hardcore Christians, um, you got two kinds of hardcore Christians. I know a lot of hardcore Christians that they're very understanding with you have your thing, I have my thing. And then you got the ones that are just, well, hardcore any religion, not even Christians. They're just jerks. I run into a lot of hardcore jerk pagans and a lot of I've actually the hardcore Christian jerks have been running low in my line. Um, or running short supply lately, which is not a bad thing. But so, and I don't want to assume your father's one side or the other. But since you're not going to hide it, you are just going to have to explain it in a respectful, spiritual way, and go from there and use the exact talking points that I covered. And you're going to have to base your further discussions off of how he reacts on it from there. One key point that I find helps out a lot is if you try to make sure that respect goes both ways. So they're respecting your belief, you're respecting theirs, and you're sharing that respect. That's really important that you do that. Because if you expect them to respect yours while shutting them down, there's no reason for them to respect you. Do remember that respect goes both ways. So I hope that helps a little bit, Selena, because I know that's a tricky one. I really do. I know that can be very tricky. And congratulations on moving into a new house where you can set one up. That's pretty awesome to hear. All right, let me go back up here to some of these questions here. Animal Man, could you place a sigil under a pillow and get results from it while sleeping? Well, it really depends on the type of sigil you're using, Animal Man. But in most cases, yeah, most cases easily. In fact, if you're not able to carry a sigil on you, one of the things they tell you to do is put it under your mattress or in your pillow because where you spend 8 hours sleeping there, it's a great way to make sure that the sigil has a constant connection with you. So for long-term working in sigils, putting them in your pillows, actually how a lot of people keep them connected to them if they can't carry them on themselves. I recommend that tactic for a lot of people who, like road workers. I know a lot of magicians who's on road crews and they're out in the weather. I don't care what your wallet's made of. If you got a sigil in there, it's getting ruined. The weather, working out in the elements and the weather. Ranchers, I know a lot of magicians who are ranchers too. So getting out there in the cold, the weather, they do their best to stay dry and warm, but Mother Nature will get you. So they often do put the sigils in the pillows to keep them safe and still keep them connected. So yes, that would work. Let's see, Jaron. Hi, glad to see you. What's your best technique on Arcane Sight? You mean for developing your Arcane Sight, Jaron? For developing your Arcane Sight, we do one of the easiest exercises is to start with visualization exercises of imagery and moving it around the way I described in the Arcane Senses video. There's a exercise there. Though, honestly, perhaps the best technique that I run through with my students is the construction of an arcane sanctum, because you're focusing on every detail of that sanctum, and the more you interact with it, the more all your arcane senses are actually developing. So that is probably what I would deem the best technique, which we do have a video on setting up an arcane sanctum. But also the visualization exercises that are in the Arcane Sight video. That's great. But we also do have a entire free class at workingdragonmystic.com, the online courses, focused on developing Arcane Sight. It's an absolutely free class. And it has visualization exercises, it has candle meditations, everything focused on developing Arcane Sight. And that class would be my best recommendation because it literally takes all the techniques that have been developed and fine-tuned over the years with my students and puts them all in one place, absolutely free. It's just larger than what I could do in YouTube, so we put it in the class and made it available for free over at the online school, which again is workingdragonmystic.com. You'll see the tab says online courses. Just click there, pops you right over there. Selena, thank you for taking time to help me. No problem. Actually, as this develops, Selena, as you start having these conversations, if you got more questions, feel free to pop in here and let me know, and I'll continue to help where I can. Okay? That's why we're here. We are friends here. That's why we're here to help. We try to make life a little better for everybody. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. K Gaming. I ended up here on your channel because I tried to find a path and I wanted to work with dragons. And the first dragon I wanted to get connected with was Terrafana. I mean, she is awesome. Okay, there is no doubt there. Terrafana is awesome. I adore every time I get to work with her. She's a hoot. I absolutely do love working with her. And I am glad you was able to find our channel and end up here. Glad to have you. Welcome to the madhouse, as it were. Make sure you do check out the Dragon Magic playlist. A lot of info there for helping you get started, which sounds like you've already been checking out that playlist, most likely. Tori, is it possible to contact your guardian dragon through candle magic? If so, what's the best way? Not that I'm aware of, Tori. I'd actually have to run that one by the rulers because when I was doing the path working, I was trying to get different methods of contacting the guardian dragons. And that's when they came up with the guided meditation, which, yeah, there's a guided meditation on the channel for contacting your guardian dragon, where you can actually just pop on some headphones, sit down, and follow the guided meditation and sink into it, and you can actually find your guardian dragon really easy that way. But they never gave anything sigil or candle magic wise that I was able to use for that. Can't say I actually asked directly for candle magic, so that would be something I'd have to approach the 9 rulers about and get some clarification on. Which I might do that. I might actually do that, Tori. But right now, to the best of my knowledge, I'm gonna have to say I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't want to lock myself in and say absolutely not. If it was possible, I don't know the process because finding your guardian dragon is such a detailed process. I don't think just simple candle magic would do it. It would still have to drift over, I'm thinking, into some kind of candle meditation or trance work, which at that point you might as well just be doing the guided meditation anyway. So I'll look into that, Tori. Thanks for asking that question. That's actually an interesting one. I'll look into that. Appreciate the question. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I'm understanding this case. Is it possible sometimes you can connect with a deity or entity just from telepathy or soul? Are you saying, like, can you connect with them just, by speaking with them in your mind? Because, yeah, I mean, most connections and conversations with deity will happen that way, no matter how you come in contact with them. And honestly, when it comes to the entity you work with, I know the astrologers out there is going to hate me, but your astrology sign doesn't have anything to do with it. And yeah, I mean, you can fall in love with elements that have nothing to do with your zodiac. And sometimes they will mesh with your zodiac. But what's going to have more effect on what you're drawn to is the person you strive to be, the experiences you've had in your life, and how they've shaped you. Those are what's really going to determine more about the stuff you're drawn to than your birth chart, zodiac sign, or anything like that. So, um, think of your zodiac sign or birth chart like a photograph of a fountain or even a photograph of a river. They're always in motion, they're always moving, they're always changing, and they're never going to be the same as the photograph that was taken. And even though the photograph might, maybe resemble the same location 10 years from now, it'll never be the same again. And because of that, you can't base the future off a photograph, if that makes some kind of sense. But yeah, you can easily be contacted by a deity at complete random, um, definitely through telepathy. That doesn't have to be any spiritual shenanigans going on there, as it were. Sometimes they just take an interest. Sometimes I've actually seen an entity reach out to someone just because they like their new hairdo. That was it. That was the only reason, which was kind of funny to be honest. But yeah. Or you can reach out to them just because you find them interesting, which is another thing. You don't have to wait for them to reach out to you. You can reach out to them. That's what I do. Yeah, Jaron, just check out the Arcane Sight class. It will help get you started and jumpstart you real quick. We've got a lot of people in the Discord server that absolutely adore that class. I get a lot of thank yous for that class. I kind of blush every time they do it, which is why I'm glad Discord doesn't always have video. Because, I mean, it's glad to know I did a good job with it. But. Whoa, okay, it jumped. Okay, it jumped. Okay, I'm behind. Again, we do have the super chat if you just want to make a donation to the work we're doing, which mainly means help replace electronics that I break. Or if you have an important question that I'm missing due to the fact that I'm behind on the chat, it'll flash it up. Make sure I see it because I'm an idiot. All right, let's see what we got here. Terador, when doing the purple candle arcane sight meditation, is it a good sign if you feel a slight pressure in your forehead area? Yep. That pressure is usually the energetic surge that's actually happening within your arcane senses. So that's actually a good sign. That means you're working those muscles. Let's see. Also, if you're here, drop us a like. Let YouTube know you like the work we're doing here. They just updated their terms of services and stuff, so we need to make sure they know people still like us. And yeah, Jaron, definitely wait till after the stream. I appreciate it. Hang out with us. Let's get this weekend started off right. Honestly, I needed this. This has been a rough week. I know I usually start this with, here's the research I've done this week, whether succeeding or failing. My research this week was lie there and try to get better. My wife wouldn't even let me take the garbage out. It was that bad. She's like, don't you dare. She actually threatened me. She's like, I come home and that garbage has been taken out. I was like, yes, ma'am, I got you. You will kill me. I understand. So yes, it's good to be here tonight. Let's see. I can't. Okay, first off, I can't log out. I love that name. That is funny. I got a question for you. What crystal, if any, would you recommend to use while meditating to strengthen arcane sight? Amethyst. That's my go-to for any of the arcane senses during meditation. Amethyst is hands down the best crystal for that I have found. Great question. But yeah, amethyst would definitely be my go-to. I don't use a lot of stones and crystals for different things in my practice, but a lot of my students do want to have a crystal to help with those, and amethyst is always the go-to. And it seems to yield the best results, which is why it is my go-to. Oh, look at that. Selena done beat me to that crap. See, I'm so far behind, and you guys are just like, we'll pick up the slack, Drake. Yeah, try the guided meditation. I will actually attempt to. I'll try and have that answer for you by Sunday, Tori. Remind me Sunday, and I will let you know what I found out. Okay. So, magical coffee hour, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be drinking coffee. We'll be answering questions, and I'll let you know the answer to your question. In the meantime, try that guided meditation because you may not even need it by Sunday, but you gave me a question, and I want to know the answer to it. See what we got here. Selena. Oh boy, have I ever mentioned that my entire family are Leo? That gets intense. Uh, I'm talking mother, father, half sister. No, I don't think you have, Selena. That would be an interesting situation to be in. I tend to get along pretty well with Leos. I don't know why. See, hey, gaming question. What do you think about Mars's power in spiritual practice or in spiritual ascension? Because I'm drawn to Aries and the gods of war, plus Ingus Salor will be my next dragon ruler. Um, Planetary Magic's one that I don't tend to work a lot with. But when I did, I enjoyed working with Mars. Any of those powers, any of those entities or energy currents can actually help with your ascension. Um, Honestly, Aries, I enjoy working with Aries. I totally see your point there. And when you say gods of war, kind of the Norse thing, so you know. I can't sidestep the fact that most of the deities I work with fall into that category. Ingus Salor is a lot of fun. If you are working with the dragon rulers, consider checking out the Dragon Magic 101 course that's over at the school. If you may already have it. It dives a lot very deep into them. But Ingus is a lot of fun, and if it comes to ascension, self empowerment, driving you forward, he'll do it. He will do it. There is no doubt. Those first four rulers are definitely four that will keep you working, keep you balanced. And I've said it many times, you could work with those four the rest of your life and never run out of things to learn and easily push your path toward ascension if that's your goal. Easily. Um, so, I mean, it sounds like you got you a relatively good road carved out and ready to, or mapped out and ready to walk it, that's awesome to hear. I hope you'll stick with us and join us in the live streams and let us know how that journey goes. Luna, dang got it. See, I ain't gonna blush just because you done that on purpose. I know what you're doing. Let's see what we got. Well, you all are very, very welcome. I'm glad you all are actually getting some use out of the class. I'm glad it's helping. That's what it's all about. Let's see. 7LVX, what are your thoughts on the Dragonomicon? I'm new to Dragon Magic and got the book Conway. Hopefully they're good. Well, Conway's Works is where I got my start. They are how can you explain this? Because me and her got to talk about this before. She's the one who encouraged me to publish my research, which, well, okay, the rulers kind of encouraged me to do it. But I ended up with the opportunity to talk to her and talk to her about my findings. And we talked about where my research, where my findings differed. And she actually agreed that the dragons laid out from her something where um, it was opening a door to a concept that was new, something that hadn't been understood really in a very long time, if ever. And because of that, hers comes off very, very light and fluffy, very love and light Wiccan-ish. And there's a lot of things she doesn't touch on. Um, so it was the start. To the best of my knowledge, that's where the dragons started reaching out to us again. So she actually encouraged me to publish. And I did get my starts in Conway's books. I really did. I wouldn't have known about Dragon Magic if it wasn't for them. And I'm very grateful for her work and her research. And I'm glad she took the step to bring dragons to us, even though we're finding out that it goes a lot deeper now. And I just hope I do her the honor of carrying that torch. And I'm sure after me, there's going to be someone else, or hopefully many others, who will take that torch and drive it further. Now, the Dragonomicon. That book is something that kept popping up in the messages and the live streams, and I had to purchase it. And I read through it. And there's not much use in it. There's not. I found it an interesting read. I found it a fascinating read. But it's more of a druidic path, and it has nothing to do with dragon magic. Nothing at all. It more is a druidic ideal where they talk about the spiritual ideal that the earth and everything on it is the dragon. So if you've ever saw the old movie Excalibur, kind of how Merlin talked about it. And actually that movie was quoted quite a bit in that book, which kind of really turned me off on that book. If you're getting your magical lore from a movie, I get a little wonky on your sources. You know what I mean? But honestly, I had to pay a lot to get a copy of that book, and it just was not worth it. I apologize. I know there's people who like that book, and it was an interesting read, but I would save your money. Because I think I had to pay $35 for that book. And anyone in here who's taken the Dragon Magic 101 course would tell you that you're going to get your money's worth 5 times over from that course over that one book. But Conway's works, though they are a lighter, fluffier version, I do enjoy reading them still because that's where I got my start. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. So I hope that answers your question a bit there, 7LV. Awesome, Tori. We have an accord. I'll be seeing you Sunday. You let me know how it goes. I'll let you know what I find. Naveed, what do you think when a Christian tells you that all pagan gods are really demons? How were pagan gods created? And how did they fashion the realms they came from? Honestly, I usually just tell them I could say the same about their God. The simple fact is there's multiple creator gods. True, Yahweh is one of them. Congratulations, your God is a creator God. Guess what? Odin is a creator God. Congratulations, my God's a creator God. Zeus is a creator God. Congratulations, Zeus is a creator God. Every system, every pantheon has a claim to this. And the simple fact is, through soul travel, and yes, even speaking with Yahweh, I have come to find out that all these creator gods did play a part in the ultimate grand scheme of creation. This is how they each actually have a truth. and it's not a falsity. So, I mean, I just stick to the facts. I don't expect a religious person, whether Christian or pagan, to just be like, "Oh, okay, your facts work," because that's the thing with faith. Faith don't give a crap about facts. Um, but Christians usually it's like, well, I understand you have your opinion, you have your belief, and I respect that. But my belief doesn't go with yours because Odin did create the nine realms. He did create the Norse cosmology, and he did create the Norsemen. Sorry, he took a part in creation. Yahweh did not do it alone. He did not do it solo. Um, that's honestly what I do. And most of them's like, well, that's cool. I understand that. It's actually funny because pagans are usually the ones who try to nail me to the wall quicker than a pagan or a Christian will. Now that's it. That's it. You and I know that I'm going to make my case, and somebody's going to be, but. And this is where I fall back to this little smart aleck statement. God and Jesus promised to rid the world of evil. We still got plenty of that. Odin promised to rid the world of frost giants. I don't know about you, but I've been to 48 states. I still ain't seen a frost giant. So if you really want to look at the scorecard, let's see, Selena, you might be one of my favorite people, just something about you. Oh, that's so sweet, Selena. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's the hat. You like the hat? That's what it is. It's the hat. Luna, since Conway's books are the soft start. Yeah, I can see that. I'm not even in Discord chat. I can feel Peachy scoffing. Oh, what are y'all doing to poor Peachy? Ever heard of a Zoth? Yeah, I've actually seen that name assigned to several entities, depending on spelling. Oftentimes, I've seen some people attach it to a Lovecraftian entity, though under the spelling you're using, I'm wanting to say that it wasn't Lovecraft. Crap. Um, actually, no. The spelling you're using isn't an entity, I don't think. The spelling you're using, if am I remembering that right? I might be wrong, but I'm wanting to say it's an alchemical statement, um, and it was used for transformations. Is oh man, that's been a while. I may be way off base on that, Jaron. I apologize, but I'm wanting to say it's more alchemy based. No, we can't all go to bed now. Peachy, don't you tell people to go to bed during my stream. Everybody type in "Oh Peachy." Go ahead, just type it in. Don't worry about why, just type it in. She'll know. That's what she gets for telling people to go to bed. Is it true that Tyr ruled the pantheon? No. Tyr was not usurped by Odin. It is possible that Tyr was the the reason that thought process comes up is there is a point where of one of the tribes, Tyr was the ruling god of the time. Though Odin predates Tyr, we're not sure why Tyr was in that position. But when you do see the tribes officially organized, Odin is already the ruler of the Aesir, so he never had to usurp Tyr in order to get his position. Tyr and Odin actually have a great respect for one another, get along great. Um, so, from my research and everything I can find on that one, Kay, is that Tyr was actually just worshipped more than Odin at one point, and then Odin kind of took over there. Because there was a point in history when the clansmen, the clans and everything were more about law and justice and arbitrating that justice of combat over all else. However, as we moved into an age of knowledge and wisdom and war, Odin quickly became the god that became worshipped more because he covered more of those aspects. It wasn't an usurp. It wasn't the fact that he usurped Tyr at all. It's just the shift of worship that would have naturally happened anyway, if that makes sense. I'm going to have to eventually do a video on this one. Selena's asking, what do I think happens after death? In all my time in soul travel, working across the planes and different entities, what I've learned, Selena, is that the human soul, as we know it, is far too large to fit within these little meat suits. So every life, every incarnation is not the same soul. It's actually a fragment of the soul. It's only a small piece. This is why you can actually have ghosts and reincarnation at the same time. So when you die, that current fragment will go to whatever afterlife best suits it for it and who it was, its personality, and its life. And it will reside there until the entire soul has finished its cycle, its process, and its growth. At which point, the fragments will then either reunite and recycle through, or the soul will ascend, in which case it becomes a higher level spiritual being, similar to a deity, hence, achieving godhood, if you will, or just ascent or ascended master, whatever you want to call it. And then you can move between the different realms as you see fit at that point. That's really the understanding I have really rolled down into a quick nutshell. Seven LVX. You plan on using dragon magic to assist you in your current path of high magic and make it even stronger. Are there any books you recommend? On dragon magic itself, no. My courses alone will definitely take you there. I actually have many ceremonial magicians that have been students of mine over the years, and they have followed these path workings for that exact reason. So yeah, if you follow the channel and keep up with it, the courses, the Dragon Magic 101 through 104 will easily meet that goal. In fact, I got 6 ceremonial magicians who studied high magic that are spam emailing me right now for information on the 104 because I haven't really even worked with most of my students on the 104. So they've only gone as far as the 103. Which we are working on getting the 102 filmed. So if you haven't already, make sure you're getting started on the Dragon Magic 101 class over at the school. But yeah, those would be enough. Other than that, you'd have to add on some ceremonial, which it sounds like you already know your high magic and ceremonial traditions well. Probably better than I do. But on the Dragon Magic side, no. Because right now, the only solid works on the topic that I could even begin to recommend is mine, and then Conway for the lighter, softer touch, which really isn't going to get into that high magic at all. I wish there was. Thanks, everybody. I'm so glad you can help me bug Peachy. Appreciate it. Let's see. Victoria Arena. Hey, I hope I didn't butcher that, Victoria. I'm going to call you Victoria. Hello, Drake. Cillian. And my English is not the best. That's okay. That's okay. I'm Southern. My English ain't the best either. Yours are probably better than mine. We'll work with it. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're amongst friends here. Anyone gives you any crap about your English, you let me know. We'll smack them together, okay? It's all good. And I want to thank you. Thanks to you, I managed to connect with the Fae, and I could understand that the dragons were sending me signals. Oh, Victoria, no, that's awesome. And you're welcome. I'm glad my content's been able to help you. Honestly, that is the only reason I keep making content. I really, really did not think this would work. I didn't think anyone would care what I had to say. Um, and even on days like today, which a few of you on Discord know, I had some tech issues today, and I was a little stressed. um, the fact that this actually is helping so many people progress in their practice, that right there's that is the reason for doing this. That's the reason that I keep turning the camera on, even though I'm terrified of cameras, and I keep editing, even though I hate my own voice. Because y'all, I mean, it's great when I hear about that. That is awesome. So Victoria, mugs up to you. I'm so glad I could help. And don't you ever worry about it. You do your best with your English, and hey, we'll get through it together. I feel like some puzzle bricks just fell into place in my mind. Well, that sounds like a good thing, Selena. As long as it's like, that aha light bulb moment and not like the bricklayer song where, you untie the rope, you go flying up and hit the barrel and come back down, hit another barrel and come back up. That would hurt. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Ray Stevens, the bricklaying song. If you ain't heard it, you'll laugh. Seriously. After the stream, check it out. It's fun. All right, Tori, I gotta go, but have a good night, everyone. See ya. Take it easy, Tori. Get some rest. Enjoy your weekend. Hope to see you Sunday. And what in tarnations was that? I think my neighbors might have just blowed something up. Either that or they're setting off fireworks. No problem. I'm glad I could help what little I could. Hopefully, I'll have an answer to your question because I'm as curious as you are now. No, my Drake. Do you know of any spirits that would be great with teaching history? Yeah, practically any spirit is really great with history. For me personally, I'd probably go to Odin just because me and Odin get along so well. So that's kind of a cop out, really. But Bragi is a great entity to talk about history because he is actually the Norse god of bards. So history is a big deal for him. Um, let's see here. Oh crap! Who's that Egyptian guy? Thoth. Thoth is pretty good about history. He knows some stuff. Let's see. Freya and Frigga is pretty good. The goddess Hell. Hades is actually really good with Hades is real good with history. So is the angel Metatron. He's pretty good with history. The Norns and the Greek Fates, they're pretty good with history as well. Those right off the top of my head, Nomire would be the ones I'd go to first. Um, I tend not to spend as much time in the past as I do try to moving forward. So I only look to the past when I have to or when I need something specific. But those would be the ones where I would start. I hope that's helpful. Okay, Naveed. Okay, but how do you undoubtedly know that those multiple creator gods actually played a part? And well, the easy flip on that, Naveed, is how do you know they didn't? You have no way to prove one way or the other on any religion that one is right, one is wrong. I'm not a religious person by any means at all. I really don't care if you tell me the Big Bang's all that happened, everything's one giant accident. I really don't. That's why arguing religion with me is like arguing with a wall. I see religion as a point of view. I see religion as an ideology. I see it as a spiritual path that one we follow, and one should follow the one that suits them and helps them out in their life the best. Beyond that, I really don't care what one religion over the other says. Um, However, of all the creator gods I've spoken to, how do I know? Well, um, of all the ones I've talked to and I trust, they've all come through. Everything they've done, everything they've told me, everything I've asked them help with, everything they've taught me has been tested. I, I'm not spiritual. I come at magic very scientifically. If it's not yielding results, it's useless. I'm not a man of faith. I'm not a spiritual man. I don't care what color it glows. I don't care how much vibration it has. I care about results. And if those results aren't coming, you ain't getting the time of day from me. So that's kind of the thing. Odin, and honestly, everything he's ever taught me when it comes to self empowerment, manifestation, and magic, everything he's taught me has functioned and worked and showed manifestations. So, yeah. As to the creation of the universe, I don't really care where it came from. I also traveled through soul travel to know that there's planes and entities that predate all the gods that we call gods, even what we call creation. Um, I mean, I've actually soul traveled outside what we know as reality itself. So to put something in such a small box and limit it to the limitations and boundaries that religion places upon it, that seems ludicrous to me. So I don't really need to worry about that too much. Well, first off, Naveed, you have to understand each of the different cosmologies and structures. So, for example, Odin created the nine realms. Okay, the nine realms includes Midgard. Yes, part of Midgard's creation was in Odin's hands. However, the other nine realms are not part of Midgard, and he is credited for creating the nine realms. Though actually in the mythos, it doesn't actually state whether he created them or not. True, actually, correction, because both Muspelheim and Niflheim were actually there prior, as was the great Gap Gunungagap, which actually is the void. Um, and then there was an entity formed from the ice and fires of creation, which, if you look at this myth, you are already seeing the Big Bang taking place. There's absolute nothingness except debris and then kablooey, the Big Bang. And it is from this that creation starts. And then Odin becomes the shaper, and he actually, the main thing he's credited for creating is men. Him and his brothers work together to create life. Kind of the old Norse Adam and Eve story, if you will. And that's kind of the thing. The creator gods actually played a hand in creation. They didn't create the entirety of reality individually. In fact, in most cases, they had very little with creating the physical realm. They just helped populate it. But, I mean, I don't argue religion with religious people. I deal with facts. I don't really worry too much about where it comes from, because if you follow energy back, it goes beyond any entity that's there. So if you really get down to what makes the most sense for creation on a magical level, the Big Bang. Selena, it has been a long time since I've worked with Thoth. I don't really know what I could say about him. I mean, he's handy to talk to about magical matters, processes, alchemy. He is kind of interesting to talk about history. He's kind of a dry conversation, though. He doesn't ever crack too many jokes or anything. I found him a little boring. Outside that, it's been so long. No. I try not to work with the Egyptians too much. Me and them didn't get along well. Me and Ra may have had a disagreement. A few of you on Discord know what I'm talking about. So unless I need to talk to a specific one of them, I tend to not work with them much. Though Thoth is one that I do enjoy his perspective on history, because the Egyptian timeline does actually highly affect the modern timeline that we use archaeologically. So Thoth is real handy to bounce things off of in that respect. No, Mangrove, you're absolutely right. Religion is unprovable. That's the entire point I'm making. I don't argue with religious figures. They have a point of view, they have their faith, and they're welcome to have it. And I don't see any reason arguing it. I'm not going to disagree with them. I'm not going to, they're welcome to it. They're not going to change my mind because I'm going to ask them for facts. They can't offer it. And the fact that I can't offer facts that their God doesn't exist don't count as a fact. So, Naveed asks, are Freya and Frigga different aspects of the same being, or are they completely different goddesses? That is a can of worms, and yes, I would actually say they are the same being. Frigga is actually, she's not an entity I worked with a lot. I never encountered her. And I can't really say I ever had a desire to work with her per se. And then I want to say it was Arthi Argoner. He has a wonderful channel here on YouTube. I'm probably messing up his name, Artie Argoner. Anyways, he did a video on Freya and Frigga where he threw out a concept, and he pointed to all the similarities and where their myths overlap. And I started pulling all my research notes, and he was dead on right. So for the first time, I was like, I need to go talk to Freya and Frigga. And in my gnosis, I agree completely with him. They are the exact same entity. The entity Frigga is more or less just Freya forced into a homemaker role. And I do mean forced, because Freya is not she is a warrior goddess. And Frigga is the mask placed upon her so she could still be worshipped as Christianity rose. That's all Frigga was, in my opinion, and in my gnosis and my research. I completely agree with Arthi on that one. They are the same entity. Gaming. How can I make an altar to Thor and Tyr, and how can I connect with them? Okay, altars in Norse practice is wherever you need to be. Honestly, it really is. Norse practice is very, very practical, very functional. So you can go to a park, find a rock, a tree stump, go out in your backyard, find a spot. Heck, you can sit down in your own living room on your floor and do it. Check out the hailing ritual on this channel. That ritual can be utilized and customized for any of the Norse deities easy. In fact, the hailing ritual is a Norse ritual. And I use it because it is so versatile. I love it. And write out your own hailing ritual for each of the entities. And ask them for their wisdom, their teachings, and their guidances. One thing a lot of people do when they're trying to connect with Thor is they will go and they will get like a small short sledgehammer and they'll stick that in their work area as their own Melnjorn. That's perfectly doable. You don't have to have one. You can easily just light a candle. Even just carving their name into a piece of wood in runes and actually having that in your workspace, that's doable. But you want to try and live and honor the way they lived and their thoughts and their ideals. That's the best way to connect with them. So with Thor, you're dealing with strength, hard work, loyalty, camaraderie, defense, protection, those kinds of things. Tyr, truth, justice, bravery, and do a little research on them and their myths, and you'll quickly find that out. I really need to do a video on both of those two, Kay. I really do. I'm going to add those two to the list tonight. Make sure we try and get those videos up soon. Let's see. Do I know any signs of Azrael, Archangel of Death? Every time Azrael's ever come knocking on my door, luckily he knows how dense I am, so I've not had to worry about signs. He just kind of, hey, fool, listen. So not 100% sure on that one, Strawberry. Sorry. Wish I did. But then again, I don't work with angels as much as other entities. So yeah. Apologize about that one. Naveed, what would you say is the highest manifestation of an angel? What is the most complex form that they've manifested into you? Well, to be quite honest with you, I've actually seen them in their full, true, heavenly, physical, well, I should say shaped manifestations, which is where they look like a giant ball of fire, lightning, wings, and eyes. Sometimes they even look almost mechanical. They don't look anything like what you describe them as these days, looking like a person with wings. But I've also been to several angels' realm of origins where their manifestation is nothing but absolute power, consciousness, and energy. There's nothing there. There's nothing tangible to call a manifestation. So that would actually be their truest manifestation, if you wanted to call it that. So I've encountered Azazel, Michael, Raphael, Metatron, even Lucifer in those states. Do you know any reason as to why a deity would reach out to someone? Yeah, they're curious. They want to get to know you. They see something in you that intrigues them. It's like earlier I mentioned the deity reached out to someone I know just because they changed their hair. Deities are just as curious and intrigued as we are. Um, we kind of put them up on this weird little pedestal, like they aren't allowed to have hobbies or they aren't allowed to have interests, but they really do, and they will be drawn by that. And sometimes it's just random curiosity. They'll be like, "Hey, look at that human. What are they up to?" Um, they they can really reach out to you and try to say hi for any reasons at all. Uh, Hensho, Dragon Guardian. Well, if you've not done the Guardian Dragon ritual meditation to actually contact your guardian, then the signs would be none. Dragon Guardians are not allowed to manifest or contact or attach to a human until that's done by the laws of the Draconic realms. They are not. It is common for dragons to hang around, linger, take interest in humans, even help them, but that does not make them a guardian. Without the actual ritual process, they are not allowed to, they're not a guardian. Well, Luna, it's not like I ain't taking the time to sit down and chat with him. I have. I've had several chats with Azrael, and I've enjoyed them. Actually, I find him quite intriguing to talk to. In fact, he has a better sense of humor than Raphael, if you want my honest opinion on that. But many of you know me and Raphael, we butt heads from time to time. Personality clash, but that's okay. So I've actually offered Azrael a drink or two. Um, it's just like when it comes to signs, my dense old rear end don't do signs. It's like you want my attention, come on in and let me know. Otherwise, hush. And Azrael seems to take that quite literal, where he's like, "All right, I'm here. Listen, uh, gotcha. Thank you for disturbing me." Actually, last time he dropped in, I was in the shower. Yeah, little rude, little rude. So that was definitely a sign. The sign, I'm here. So you are. Could you hand me the towel? And he wouldn't. I had to get it myself. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Okay, where am I? Where was it? Where was it? Okay, gamers, are there other dragon rulers out there? No, actually, that was something I was wanting to wondering myself at one time, and I asked. And the way the dragons have the energy split up is the nine rulers themselves represent the nine main energy currents through the multiverse. And within those nine main energy currents, all other energy currents intersect in some way. Because of that, those nine rulers actually do oversee all the other practically infinite energy currents that expand out there. So those nine rulers have a massive, massive job. Um, that said, however, now that's talking for the rulers specifically. Now, the rulers do kind of have, I guess you could call it kind of a overseer, mid go between kind of person that oversees them. I am at this point not allowed to share that particular dragon's name here on this channel, nor how to contact them. And that dragon is actually the dragon that it in of itself guards what some of you have heard me mention, I think, on this channel as the outer gate. And that's actually stuff we're going to be covering in the 104 class, actually. And beyond that gate is how you actually bypass reality and go to where um, the dragon and the dragoness would exist. If so, as far as rulers, like the 9 rulers, no, there's just the 9. But then you do have that one dragon there that's that go between the dragon and the dragoness and the 9 rulers. And then you do have the dragon and the dragoness out there, which those 3 entities will be the prime focus of the 104 class. And the outer gate ritual to this day is hands down one of the most butt-kicking rituals I have ever learned. A few of you have heard me talk about that ritual where I screwed up and passed out for like 48 hours. That was that. It was that one. I didn't wait for all the details, and I tried to jump ahead. Don't do that. When a high entity like a dragon's giving you information and says, don't do this until we get everything laid out. Don't try it. Don't be stupid. But yeah, that's going to be the dragons like that's going to be what's going to be talked about in the 104. And I am looking and always waiting for the rulers to be like, okay, we're ready for you to share this. Because part of the agreement for me publishing is I will publish and reveal what I can publicly as they allow it. Like the Dragon's Eye Seal, y'all know I was way ecstatic and giddy about the opportunity to share that with you all. And that's something they had me sit on for many years before they let me share it. But they've been such great teachers that I'm going to keep my word to them. So I'm sure I know they got a plan, and their plan is definitely working. So I'm good with that. Naveed, that's pretty much it. They look like a ball of wings everywhere. Like, depending on which one it was, I mean, the wings were practically countless, but um, at the base of the wings was just a ununiform morphic ball of eyes that was radiating fire and lightning out from it in random directions. Some of them looked biomechanical, would be the word I'd use. They almost looked like a balancing gyro encased with biomass on it. And the gyro actually had wings and stuff. Which is actually funny because if you look at some of the older angelic lore, that's exactly how they explain them. I mean, heck, you can actually go to the internet and type in biblical forms of angels on Google, and it'll bring up exactly, well, not exactly what I saw, but very dang close to it. And mechanical means they looked like biomechanical machines. They looked like something that was a cross between biological and mechanical. That's some of them, not all of them. Like I said, just go to Google, type in biblical true forms of angels, and it should pop up. Because if you act, there's a reason the Bible says every time an angel shows up, do not fear me. Because I don't know about you, but a guy with wings walk up, I ain't gonna be afraid of him. I might have a few jokes to make, but I'm not gonna be afraid of him. But there's a reason they always had to say that. And they're not the cute things that we paint them as in modern time. What's your take on soul parent deities that are said to form your soul? I think some people put too much into that. I really do. I really do. I do. I'm just because you have the free will to go any direction you want. And your choices are going to matter more than anything as far as like a soul parent. Um, and I think way too many people get hung up on these concepts. Now, it is true. Some deities do have a more cultural interest in us, but that's a cultural interest that has nothing to do with actual soul or genetic material. So, yeah, I'm not. It's one of those things where, yeah, it can be neat, it can be helpful in possibly choosing a path, but it's nothing that's going to lock you into anything or guarantee you anything. And I'm saying this from a Nordic belief because I actually found out my family actually is Germanic and actually fell into that, which that was just a coincidence. But that was one thing me and Odin sat down and talked about because early in my practice, a lot of people was like, well, you can't practice this if, or you can't practice that if. And I asked Odin about it, and he flat out, he's like, neither myself nor any deity gives one rat's rump about that. He's like, you find the path that is correct for you, and you honor it, and you live it honorably, and we will honor you. Boop, easy peasy. Um, so, and Odin has stood by that statement every time I've ever noticed. Um, as has every other entity I've encountered. That's a question I continually ask to see if I find an entity that differs from that. So far, I have not found an entity that differs from that yet. Still looking, ain't found one. But you will notice they said make sure you treat them with respect and understanding. So that is kind of important. You need to understand the entities and how they function, and you need to treat them respectfully and not try to change them and make them into something you want. That is something where people get in trouble a lot. And I'm actually planning on doing a video about that because, ooh, that's a sore point for me. Let's see. Okay, it jumped and I done went and lost where I was, people. Selena, the amount of beans waiting for me to move is ridiculous. Should have been here on Halloween. We had at least 5,000 entities through here. It was a busy night. Okay. Wow, it's jumping all over the place. I'm going to need to see if there's a speed adjuster on this chat thing or something here, people. Oh, has it really been an hour and 20 minutes already? No way. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and get ready to wrap up here, people. I'll try and catch these last questions here at the bottom. We got 27 people, 23 likes. People hanging out here, give us a like. It lets YouTube know you like what we're doing and you'd like to see more content. We are trying to get more videos out. I hope you all are enjoying the rune class. Actually, real quick, for those of you who've been following the channel, how have you been enjoying the rune class? Do you think that the format that YouTube's allowing me to do it in is working? I know we're still early in the class. I think there's only 1 or 2 lessons up. But I would love some feedback if you can. Pop over to Discord, let me know, or just drop it in comments. We are trying to work as much as we can within the YouTube guidelines to get that up as an entire complete free class. So, all the feedback we can get from y'all is always helpful, and I do appreciate it. Also, do be sure to join us Sunday for the magical coffee hour so we can close out the weekend with a nice chat as well. And do remember to check out the link to go check out the runic circle here. It works great for wall hanging or actual ritual circle itself. And oh crap, I almost forgot this. For those who don't know, we announced the Yule Coffee Cup Art Contest. Yes, the 2020 Yule Solstice Coffee Cup Art Contest for those artists out there. The theme this year is the Wild Hunt, the Solstice, and of course, Working Dragon Mystic. You just do your art, you submit it over at the Discord. There is a link to the Discord in the About section if you've not already joined the Discord. And they're due by December 15th, midnight Eastern Standard Time, at which point they will be going to several colleagues of mine who will be voting on the best art. I don't vote. I don't want to show any bias, so I don't vote. And the winner, just like at Halloween, gets their artwork thrown on a coffee cup, which we will print a limited supply. 50 seems to be a good number. There's only a few left for the Halloween cup, so if you haven't got it, pop over to the merchandise store and grab that. And not only does it go on the cup, but you will get a 50% off coupon for the shop that you can use to get your own coffee cup, or you can use it on something else there. So, or no, wait, hold on. No, I think the coupon will have to be for the cup. I don't think I can make it for the whole shop. Yeah, okay. But so you'll get 50% off the coffee cup. But do make sure you have your entries in. I always look forward to seeing all everyone's art. Y'all did great for the Halloween mug. It turned out amazing. Like I said, I ordered one myself. I love it. And everyone who entered the artwork did a fantastic job. I look forward to seeing these as well. So if you are an artist, make sure you get your entry in. And keep your eyes out Tuesday for the new video coming. All right. Last few questions here. Let's see what we got. Do the moon phases affect you? You as in Drake? No, they don't. One of the main reasons is I actually do regular ritual work to control the energy influx into my life, period. If you check out my Mercury retrograde video, the entire video is why Mercury retrograde and other events like that have no effect on me or other mages like me. The entire idea of being a magician, a mage, or a practitioner is to take mastery of your life and the energies in it. And part of that is this making sure you are in control of what energies are affecting you and when and how. And that ritual is how I do it. So it would affect me if I allowed it, but it's not something I allow. In fact, most people in Discord notice I tend to forget when the moon is. I don't tend to work with it that much. And large part of that is I ain't got time to personally wait around for the correct moon phase for most workings, so I don't. Let's see, is it natural for people to astral project unknowingly? Um, it happens. It happens during daydreaming or sleeping, though it tends to not be a true astral projection, but very, very similar. But it can happen, yes. Yes, Sunday magical coffee hour. We will have lots of coffee. Join us. It's gonna be fun. And a great way to end the weekend, people. Uh, Hunchild, for developing your arcane senses, check out the arcane senses video. There's several exercises in that video for each of the arcane senses. Also, go over to the school at workingdragonmystic.com. There should be a link below. There's a free class on developing your arcane sight. That's the hardest one to develop. So we did a full in-depth class on developing it there. Absolutely free to go take, work through it at your own time, lifetime access to it. Also, build an arcane sanctum because when interacting with your arcane sanctum, all your arcane senses will be engaged. And there's a video on here on the channel itself for arcane senses or arcane sanctum. There's one for the arcane senses too, and what one is and how to construct it. Kay, do you recommend connecting with a ruler without a guardian dragon? No, I do not. In fact, any connection or contact you attempt to have with a ruler without a guardian, it's going to be hollow at best. The rulers try not to work with humans without a guardian because their energetic currents and patterns can be so unstabling and can create a lot of chaos and turbulence if it is not properly handled and balanced. And that's where the guardian and the co-magician come in. So like when you're working through the Dragon Magic 101 path working, for example, the first section's getting you ready to build up and understanding the ritual processes and getting you to meet your guardian, bonding with your guardian. And after you got that relationship started, you move on to your co-magician, you meet them, and you build that bond before you ever start the path working with the rulers. Because without those two dragons at your side, the rulers cannot approach you safely, and they won't because of that. So any contact you attempt to have, even if they do answer, it's going to be more like a shade or a shadow at best of them. It really is. If that makes sense, Kay. But that's also why we did put the Guardian and Co-Magician information here on the channel. Yeah, full moons can wreak a lot of chaos, Selena. Check out the it's called the Mercury retrograde video. I need to actually do a video separating that ritual just in its just as an energetic control video, not the Mercury retrograde. It's just I did that video because so many people would always come to me complaining about everything that was wrong, and they're like, "It's not my fault. It's Mercury retrograde," and I'm just like, "Are you a practitioner or a whiner? Which is it?" So I finally was just like, all right, look. And I did that video. Y'all know me. I'm helpful, but at the same time, don't do excuses well. I think I get that from Odin and Freya. I really do. Definitely Freya. Freya's not big on the excuses either. So I probably should do that video, do that ritual in its own video and give it a bit more spotlight, Selena. But in the meantime, pop over and check out the Mercury retrograde video where I do talk about that. And if you can, let me know what you find, how you feel about it, and let me know how it works for you. I'd love to get some more feedback on it. All right, everyone, I am going to get out of here. I am going to go bug the wife, see what she's up to. Well, actually, I think, nope, actually, I already have an appointment. I need to go talk to a friend, help them out with something. Almost forgot about that. Ooh, look at that. I'd have got in trouble with Mangrove, oh my God, are you afraid? What? It's just, I'm sorry. The entire point of magic is self mastery and life mastery. And you can't do that if you're making excuses. You have to take charge and you have to hold you accountable. And it really comes down to, are you a practitioner or are you going to be a whiner? Which is it? You can't do both. There's no middle ground. Take your pick. And I know this is a harsh thing, but you know, what is this? Need that on a shirt. Oh my God, you guys are right. We really do. Oh, new merch idea, people. We are going to get that on a shirt. We're going to put that up on a shirt. We may even get one of the nice little artists over at the Discord to doodle up something. But if nothing else, I'm just going to have that on a shirt. Just big letters. Are you a practitioner or a whiner? There we go, people. We got it. There we go. Practitioner or whiner. All right, people. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Have fun. Stay as safe as you can. And I'll see y'all Sunday. All right? Take it easy.